Proto Angelo, the Great Sword Commander, a swordsman with high HP, high damage and high defense. If there are Proto Angelos present in the battle, this demon can coordinate attacks with them as well. Overall, a very dangerous enemy and is quite tough to kill on higher difficulties. Proto Angelo only has close range attacks. If you let it attack you, it primarily uses a basic 3-hit combo and a high time 2-hit combo. If you stand at the back of it, it also has a backswing that attacks behind it. If you start attacking the Proto Angelo, it will try to guard your attacks with its sword. If you keep attacking it, it can parry you and retaliate with a high time or its wide slash attack. If you make the Proto Angelo guard but it doesn't trigger a parry, it can then rush in and use a heavy overhead attack or a powerful wide slash attack. These attacks get very dangerous when it enters Devil Trigger or its Guts state. Proto Angelo has a Guts state that triggers when its HP drops below 30%. It glows red and gains a 30% movement speed increase, as well as a 50% defense increase. This stacks with Devil Trigger, making this enemy get incredibly high defense on Dante Must Die difficulty. It also becomes more aggressive while adopting a more focused block and counter approach to combat. While in Guts state, the Proto Angelo will always try to make space while guarding. If you pressure it at close range while it guards, it will try to parry you and retaliate with swift combo attacks. Otherwise, it will try to rush in and use its heavy overhead attack or its wide slash attack. If there are Proto Angelos present in the fight, Proto Angelo will fight by commanding them and they will attack as a unit. The Proto initiates this by raising its sword with both hands and giving a vocal command. There are two variations of these team attacks, and you can tell which one they are using by looking at the Scudo's movements. If the Scudos twirl their swords, this is formation A. For this one, the Scudos charge in first and use a stab attack, followed by the Proto doing its wide slash attack. If the Scudos look like they buff their shields and then move backwards, this is formation B. For this one, the Proto charges in first and uses its heavy overhead attack, followed by the Scudos doing their shield bash attack. The shield bash of the Scudo functions the same as the normal shield bash attack of the Proto Angelo, and thus also has a special break condition. Basically, if you strike at the exact same moment the shield hits, you can break it instantly. I might do a Proto Angelo guide video one day that talks about them in more detail. If you make the Proto Angelo flinch while he assembles his battalion, you can interrupt the team attack. If you interrupt formation A, the whole group gets staggered. If you interrupt formation B, all of the Scudo's shields will break simultaneously. If any of the Scudos have a broken shield, they cannot participate in team attacks. Likewise, if the Proto Angelo is in Guts state, he will not coordinate team attacks anymore. It also seems like the Proto can command a maximum of 4 Proto Angelos at a time. The main challenges with this enemy are parrying its attacks, isolating it from other demons, and dealing damage to it. All of the Proto Angelo's attacks can be parried, even when it's in Guts state. When parried, it's put into a stag animation where it loses all of its armor hits. This is your biggest chance to launch the Proto Angelo, making the parry well worth the risk. Since this enemy often appears with a group of Proto Angelos, you should consider picking them off first. It's quite risky to take on a Proto with a bunch of Scudos surrounding him, unless you are capable of launching the Proto and killing it in a full combo. The Proto Angelo's Guts state defense increase, plus the Devil Trigger defense increase, is seriously no joke. You can hammer this guy and he barely even feels it. You really need to bust out the high damage stuff, or this fight can stretch out on DMD. Longer fights means more opportunities to make mistakes. You can also manipulate the camera to keep the Proto Angelo off screen so that it does less actions. You can even quickly turn the camera away in reaction to its guarding action, so that you can negate the running power attacks. Next, I'll talk about some character-specific strategies for engaging a Proto Angelo. For Nero, use Payline, Shuffle, or Split to parry. For dealing damage, use your Exceed to the fullest, charge shot level 3 and use your Devil Breakers liberally, but not recklessly. Feel free to use a Break Gauge on this enemy too. If you manage to knock it down, make use of Showdown. If you absolutely do not want to deal with the Proto Angelo's HP pool, bring a Buster arm and use Super Buster on it. This will take out a fat chunk of its HP. For Dante, use DSD Helmbreaker, Balrog's Flint Wheel, Cerberus's Revolver, Long Barrel, and Ice Age to parry. For heavy stun, you can use Cerberus Percussion and Kingslayer attacks, and also Balrog's Blow Mode attacks as well. Since the fight draws out, you can also use Sun Devil Trigger's Sin Inferno when you end up at Triple S rank, but please don't abuse it. For dealing damage, use Balrog's Real Impact, Cerberus's Hot Stuff, Cavalier's Air Combo B, Double Kalina Ann's Mega Cascade, Dr. Faust's Red Shot Held Down, Red Hot Knight, Sin Devil Trigger's SDT combo, Sin Stinger, and Judgment. If you absolutely do not want to deal with the Proto Angelo's HP pool, you can use Sin Devil Trigger's Demolition to delete it in one blow. The downside is that this will lock you out of quadruple S conditions, and you'll have to spend the rest of your SDT gauge. Well, this fight is going to take a while, so might as well cozy up with your favorite book and brew some nice warm Devil Trigger. Try to air taunt every 20 seconds and deal damage where you can. If your familiars die, pop Devil Trigger to bring them back to life and have Nightmare deal some damage too. If you absolutely do not want to deal with Proto Angelo's HP pool, pause the game, quit to main menu, and pick a real fucking character. For Vergil, use Beowulf Flush Jumps, Rising Dragon, Mirage Edge's Helmbreaker, and Stinger to parry. For heavy stun, you can use Mirage Edge's Million Stab or SDT Stinger. For dealing damage, use Yamato Perfect Judgment Cut Chaining, Yamato Combo A while in SDT, Beowulf Combo B while in SDT, or Vergil's super moves. If you absolutely do not want to deal with the Proto Angelo's HP pool, put it to the ground with heavy rain blades, then move in and use Beowulf's Hell on Earth while in SDT. Also, if you have precise timing, you can use Dragon Breaker's level 3 charge with a perfect release. Just as a quick footnote, Proto Angelo gets incredibly heavy on DMD when it enters Guts state plus Devil Trigger. If you are performing an air combo on it, it will fall out of the combo pretty easily once its HP gets low. However, you can still keep it propped up and juggled with power moves that have lots of hits. For instance, Dante's Cavalier gear attacks and Vergil's Judgment Cut can do this. During your air combo, you can transition into chaining either of these attacks once the Proto's HP approaches 30%. Do this to keep the Proto Angelo juggled and kill it in a full combo. This will be a test of skill though. Alright, that's it. I hope you learned something in this video. If you want more information on this enemy or more DMC5 guides, check the links in the video description. So, what are your preferred ways to engage a Proto Angelo? Go ahead and tell me in the comments below. Also, I should have more enemy guide videos up soon. Be sure to look out for those if you're interested. This was BK Brent and Kore wa game de atte mo, asubi de wa aru mai. I'll see ya.